I'm Julia Osondu, showing you where the development is happening. Please, come and join us.
De la déclaration liminaire relative aux activités d'espionnage d'une ONG au Burkina Faso que mes services ont pu démanteler.
Welcome once again to Interblog, Africa's voice of reason, balance, and progress. Today, we turn our focus to the heart of West Africa, Burkina Faso, where national sovereignty, vigilance, and patriotism have once again taken center stage. On October 7, 2025, Burkina Faso's Minister of Security, Mahamadou Sana, held a press conference that has since echoed across the African continent. He announced the arrest of several individuals linked to an organization called the International NGO Safety Organization, or INSO, an entity that had been operating in the country since 2019. At a press conference on Tuesday, October 7, 2025, Security Minister Mahamadou Sana announced the arrest of members of an NGO for espionage and treason. According to the minister, this NGO was collecting sensitive information on the positions of the defense and security forces and the VDP for the benefit of certain foreign powers. According to the Minister of Security, the Burkinabe Security Services had been closely monitoring the activities of a non-governmental organization called the International NGO Safety Organization, or INSO, for some time. Thanks to valuable citizen collaboration, the intelligence services discovered that this NGO was in fact a spy network operating in Burkinabe territory. The minister specified that the NGO, headquartered in The Hague, Netherlands, has been operating in Burkina Faso since 2019 under the terms of Establishment Agreement No. 057-2019 MID-NIC-INSO. According to the terms of this agreement, its scope of action was to be limited to training humanitarian NGOs in security matters. However, according to Mahamadou Sana, INSO deliberately exceeded this legal framework by systematically collecting sensitive information related to the country's security, political, and administrative activities. Thus, the investigations revealed that INSO, with the help of some of our compatriots, managed to carefully identify the routes, movements, and composition of military and/or supply convoys to cities, which were supposed to be kept secret in the interest of national defense. It systematically listed the military resources deployed to secure a given convoy by collecting information on the number of elements, vehicles, heavy weapons, motorcycles, etc. INSO also spent its time collecting information on the areas of operation, the positions of the units, as well as the interventions of the defense and security forces and the volunteers for the defense of the Patriot land on the ground, he said. According to the minister, the NGO even went so far as to precisely record the GPS coordinates of the areas of clashes between the FDS and groups, as well as the sites of improvised explosive devices, IEDs. It then carried out a casualty count after each attack or security operation. INSO was also interested in the movements of armed groups in certain localities, the abuses committed against the population, and did not hesitate to photograph the victims after the attacks. In its espionage, INSO collected information in cities such as road traffic accidents, decisions or operational problems of special delegations, and the activities of security services. Not limiting itself to Burkina Faso, INSO used its networks to collect from our country the same types of information on Mali, added the minister. Faced with these practices, which were deemed worrying, Mahamadou Sana asked, why systematically collect all information related to the security environment? What do they do with this information? Who do they send this information to? Where is all this information stored? How is such information used? What happens to this information after use? What real objectives are hidden behind such collection? Who is this information intended for? Questioned and questioned, the INSO country director and his deputy, a French national and a Franco-Senegalese woman respectively, stated that the data collected was used to inform humanitarian NGOs present in Burkina Faso, but also to write reports for their financial partners. The country director, Jean-Christopher Emel Pagon, admitted to having instructed his staff to collect sensitive information, particularly on security incidents and the GPS coordinates of affected locations, in violation of the agreement signed with the Burkinabe government. Regarding the final use of such systematic collection of sensitive information, no clear answer was given by the officials because, they say, this is the roadmap that the NGO gave them and that they are trying to accomplish as best they can. They claim not to know what happens to this data, which is centralized in a database abroad, explained Mr. Sana. The NGO reportedly recruited nationals of various backgrounds, including former members of the FDS, tasked with analyzing data and interpreting it in terms of security and politics. According to the minister, a second layer of qualified field agents is responsible for organizing the collection of information on the ground. Finally, they have established a third layer made up of people they carefully select based on their strategic position or their activities that facilitate their access to information. These people often live in areas with high security challenges, particularly in the regions of Gulmu, Sirba, Tapoa, Sum, Liptako, Quilce, Yagda, Nakambe, Banqui, and Soru. This group, which they call community relays, to whom they regularly pay money, are mainly either traders or gold miners, but also teachers and nurses, he explained. 7 people, including a Frenchman and a French-Senegalese woman, arrested. Given the seriousness of the facts, the ministry suspended all of the NGO's activities by order number 2025-00241/MATM/SG/DGAT/DSOAP of July 31st, 2025, to allow the investigatory services to further their investigations. Despite this suspension, some INSO officials continued to carry out clandestine or indirect activities, such as information gathering and face-to-face or online meetings, the Minister of Security stressed. Following this observation, he said 7 additional employees of the organization were arrested, including the Deputy Director, Mrs. Guis Aminata Mariana, Franco-Senegalese, Mr. Muzil Thomas, Czech, Director of Programs, a Malian, and 4 Burkinabe. It should be noted that it was indeed Mrs. Guis Aminata Mariana, Deputy Director, who continued to hold online meetings and organize information gathering from her home in the Bois district of the city of Ouagadougou in defiance of the suspension order. She also organized the trip of Mr. Mousik Thomas Delahaye to Ouagadougou on September 8, 2025, even though the activities of the NGO were suspended. The latter is the Director of Programs of INSO at its headquarters in The Hague and also the Deputy Director General of the NGO. According to Mahamadou Sana, all those arrested will be brought before the public prosecutor of Faso for espionage and treason in accordance with the provisions of Article 311-4 of Law No. 025-2018/AN on the Penal Code of Burkina Faso. The head of Burkinabe Security praised the vigilance and commitment of Burkinabe citizens who are helping to unmask the Machiavellian enterprises and the disastrous projects of imperialism. He called on NGOs and associations to scrupulously respect their commitments to the state and urged the Burkinabe to demonstrate patriotism and vigilance in denouncing any suspicious activity likely to compromise efforts to restore lasting peace in Burkina Faso. This is the end of our program today. See you on Intervlog, same time tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates. Thank you for watching Intervlog. Thank you.